Have you ever noticed how two people can walk into the exact same room together and experience it in completely different ways? One person might feel relaxed, while the other feels completely overwhelmed. To understand why, look at this diagram of two different smartphones. They both handle calls, take pictures, and run apps beautifully. But underneath the screen, they operate using entirely different code. Every operating system needs its own specific instructions to function. An iPhone isn't broken because it can't run an Android app. It's designed to process information in its own unique way. Human brains work the same way. Instead of thinking about digital code, imagine the human brain as a giant interactive indoor playground. Inside this space, there are different slides, swings, and pathways. Every time a child plays, explores the equipment, or interacts with others, they are moving through this layout to learn and experience the world. Supporting an autistic person starts with learning their specific brain layout. By understanding how their playground is built, we can make sure it's a space where they can thrive exactly as they are. Notice these glowing, high-speed pathways on our playground map. These super fast highways represent skills that come naturally. When information moves here, it creates deep hyperfocus, allowing a child to memorize favorite topics or spot tiny visual patterns others miss. Along with these highways, the playground has sensory pathways that are incredibly sensitive. These paths take in sights, sounds, and textures at a much higher volume and brightness than typical brains. A ticking clock might sound like a loud drum, or the fabric of a shirt might feel as rough as sandpaper. Because these pathways pull in so much intense information at once, everyday environments can quickly feel overwhelming. That rush of raw data is what leads to sensory overload. Other parts of the playground look like this: isolated sections with scattered building blocks. These are construction zones, where the brain is working hard to build new connections one piece at a time. A child might be in a construction zone when they are trying to navigate a loud group setting or figuring out how to handle a sudden change in their daily routine. Working in a construction zone is exhausting. When these pathways take longer to build, providing different tools or a bit of extra time helps the child bridge the gap safely. When the playground gets too loud, the body has a natural response to stay steady. Rhythmic movements like humming, rocking, or flapping hands, often called stimming, act like a physical anchor to help the person feel grounded. Most people have their own versions of this, like bouncing a leg during a long meeting, or tapping a pen when they're nervous. For an autistic person, these repetitive movements are a vital tool. This rulebook represents an era where many doctors viewed autism mainly as a collection of problems to be fixed. They often tried to hide a person's natural traits to make them act more like everyone else. We now know that the most effective support happens when we adjust the world around the person. By making the environment more flexible, we allow people to participate in the community as their authentic selves. This is a sensory story bag provided by a public library. Instead of demanding that a child sit perfectly still, libraries use these kits to make reading a welcoming experience that fits the child's needs. Inside, you'll find items like these noise-canceling headphones to soften loud sounds, and textured sensory balls to give hands a calming way to stay busy. This card, which stands for "Just a Minute," is another tool for navigating public spaces. It's a simple way for someone to ask for a little extra patience during a social interaction. Someone might show this to a teacher or a store clerk to quietly signal that they need a moment to process information, helping to prevent sensory overload before it starts. When we provide the right tools and a little patience, we remove the barriers that hold people back. We allow every autistic individual to use their unique strengths in a world that finally understands them. How will you make your community a more welcoming playground?